And President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone urges end to Ukraine war for sake of humanity. Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Ethiopian President Sahle-Work Zewde discussed with the Vice President of Colombia on ways to strengthen bilateral cooperation of mutual concerns. Sahle-Work Zewde said that Ethiopia is committed to strengthen multifaceted cooperation with Colombia. Colombia's Vice President, Francia Marquez, for her part, underscored that the visit to Ethiopia is momentous as it reconstructs cultural, economic and social ties with Ethiopia. Shagau Yamatau has the following report.
Colombia's Vice President Francia Marquez discussed with Ethiopian President Sahle-Work Zewde on ways to strengthen cooperation with Ethiopia. Sahle-Work appreciated the Vice President's visit to Ethiopia as it bolsters the economic, political and other spheres of the two countries.
ታቸው የመጀመሪያዋ ሴት ናቸው ከአፍሪካ
I'm pleased with the visit of the Colombian Vice President to Ethiopia. She is the first Black African origin to be the Vice President of Colombia. This is historic not only for Colombia but also for Ethiopia and Africa. Her position as Women Vice President is significant to promote women empowerment in Africa. Latin American countries are the sixth target region of the African Union.
Region ነው ለአፍሪካ ህብረት እና የኛ ናቸው ብለን ነው የምናስበው.
Colombia's Vice President Francia Marquez for her part indicated that her visit is aimed at reconstructing and establishing new cultural, economic, political and social ties among others with Ethiopia.
This is of course a very important trip for us. It is a historic reconnection with the land of our ancestors. We are here in search of reconstructing and establishing new cultural, economic, political and social ties to work on topics related to the empowerment of women, for example. And this reconnection between our two continents is also closely related to the similar histories that we share. And this is of course looking towards the future, a future of peace as two nations who have known a conflict and who are now striving for greater peace.
The Vice President of Colombia is on an official tour in Ethiopia after visiting South Africa and Kenya.
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed met and held a discussion with Francia Elena Marquez Mina, Vice President of Colombia. The Prime Minister underscored that both Ethiopia and Colombia will work to strengthen bilateral ties. He also believes that the two countries will explore opportunities for collaboration in various areas. The Colombian Vice President Francia Marquez has arrived in Addis Ababa on May 17, 2023. She started her working visit to Ethiopia by holding discussions with Demeke Mekonnen, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, and other high-level federal government officials. During the meeting, DPM and FM Demeke told the Vice President that Ethiopia is interested in working in cooperation with Colombia in the fields of trade, investment, tourism, aviation and technology. He expressed his appreciation for Colombia's decision to reopen its embassy in Ethiopia after 50 years, reminding that the two countries have similar experience in international forums. For her part, Colombian Vice President Francia Marquez stated that one of the reasons for Colombia reopening its embassy in Ethiopia is Ethiopia's strong influence in Africa and the region, and pointed out that the decision aims to improve the relationship between the two countries. Ethiopia on regional and continental levels, as well as on multilateral platforms. Following the discussions, Ethiopia and Colombia also signed a memorandum of understanding to revive their bilateral ties and scale up cooperation in multifaceted areas.
We are here at Wendo Ganet, which is 24 kilometers away from the capital, Hawassa city. This is the right place where the natural spring water flows.
Rehabilitation work of health facilities that were damaged in areas where there was war and conflict has not been at the required level. In its 20th regular session, the House of People's Representatives reviewed the 9th-month performance of the Ministry of Health. In the report tabled to the Council, it was also revealed that the health facilities that were damaged due to the conflict are on support, providing only partial basic services. According to a survey conducted by the Ministry of Health on the war-torn Afar and Amhara regions, 42 hospitals, 499 health centers, 1,728 health posts, and 159 ambulances were completely destroyed. Dealing with rehabilitation work, efforts have been done by collecting money from the diaspora, government and non-governmental organizations. In the last 9 months, maternal and child health, hygiene and environmental health, health extension services, nutritional services, and services provided for communicable and non-communicable diseases were also said to have performed well in the past 9 months. Along with this, in order to improve the delivery of medical services, new trial applications have been started in 38 hospitals that will increase the quality of medical services. The Ministerial Cabinet has started evaluating the overall macroeconomic quarterly performance with the presence of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Presenting 9-month performance of 2015 Ethiopian fiscal year, Planning and Development Minister Fitsum Assefa said most of the plans are progressing well. She said that it was planned to collect 328 billion birr revenue in 9 months and 98% of the target has been achieved. Listen to her.
In the 2015 Ethiopian fiscal year, we planned to collect 328 billion birr in the 9 months, of which we have achieved 324 billion birr, or 98% of our plan. Similarly, we plan to collect 190 billion birr from domestic revenue. We have collected 191 billion birr. That means we meet 100% of our plan. We set a goal to collect 137 billion birr from custom, but we achieved 132 billion birr, that is 96% of the plan. Although we are achieving as planned, a lot remains to be done to collect additional revenue through introducing new tax policies. This will help us to narrow the gap between collected tax and economic growth. Still, tax to GDP remains at the lower level.
The minister also stated that over 2.4 million jobs have been created over the past 9 months.
We plan to create 3.12 million jobs in 9 months. During the past 9 months alone, close to 2.4 million jobs created for citizens in various sectors. The performance has reached 79% of our plan, of which over 960,000 jobs have been created in agricultural sector. It covers 39% of the total job creation. In job creation, the service sector takes the lion's share. It's about 1 million jobs. This shows the service sector is reviving and contributing to the economic development. Production and productivity is also increasing. The industry sector helps to create 20% jobs of our citizens. Our plan is progressing well despite challenges. በስራ እድል ፈጠራውም አብሮ የተያያዘ መሆኑን በደንብ ማሳያ ናቸው።
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and WorldRemit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Birr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
ጎሽ ቁጥር እንደ ትላንትናው አይቻለቅ ይሄው ምን ነው ያሳያለው የማገገም የዱር እንስሳቱ መጀመሪያ ከነበሩበት ከተበታተኑበት ቦታ ስብስባቸው ምን ያህል እንደሆነ የሚያሳይ ነው። ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ቦታዎቹ አጠቃላይ ተሽከርካሪ ሲተራመስ የነበረበት ቦታዎቹ በሙሉ ያገገሙበት መልሶ ያገገመበት ሳር ያኔ እንደዚህ አረንጓዴ ማናየው ሳር ሙሉ በሙሉ አረንጓዴ የሆነበት ቃጠሎም ጀምረናል ቃጠሎም እናካሄደባቸው ሜዳማ ፓርቶችን ደግሞ ስናይ በጣም ግሪን ሆኖ ስናይ በቃ ከፍተኛ ተስፋ እንዳለ ነው የሚያሳየው።
ኦሞ ጎሽ በጣም ብዛት አለ ከዚህ በፊት በጣም ብዛት ነበረ የተለያዩ ማሽኖች ድምጽ አለ መኪና ድምጽ አለ ለዛ ነው ትንሽ እንኳን ቀንሶ ወደ ሌላ ቦታ እንዲሄድና ግማሽ ወደ ሱዳን ወጥቶ እንዲሄድ ያደረገ ያለ በጣም ብዙ ነበር ኦሞ ብሔራዊ ፓርክ ያለው ቁጥር ስፍር የለም ነበር።
Spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Meles Alam, reiterated Ethiopia's continued support to Sudanese nationals fleeing the fighting. In his weekly briefing here today, Ambassador Alam highlighted preparations for the upcoming celebrations of the 60th anniversary of the AU, where Pan-African values, struggles against colonialism, and aspirations for a prosperous Africa under the implementation of Agenda 2063 will be highlighted. He also spoke about the maiden visit of the Vice President of Colombia, Ethiopian high-level delegation's visit to Pakistan led by State Minister Misganu Arega, and the revitalization of the Ethiopia-Pakistani ties. The presence of the Organization of Educational Cooperation OEC in the Ethiopian capital will make it easier to achieve the ideal South-South cooperation in the education sector. The remark came here today during the inauguration of the headquarters of the OEC, a newly established intergovernmental organization of countries from the Global South. South, Africa, Asia, Latin America, Pacific, and the Arab world. Stakes emphasized an inclusive way of development emerging through and from education, as our staff reporter, Kasaun Chani, who attended the event, tells us in the following piece. Take a look.
Latin American, Caribbean, African, Asian, Middle Eastern and Pacific Island countries came together to form the Organization of Educational Cooperation, OEC, on January 29, 2020 in Djibouti at the International Summit on Balanced and Inclusive Education. As set out by its constitutive charter, the purpose of the OEC is to contribute to the equitable, just and prosperous social transformation of societies by promoting balanced and inclusive education. During the inauguration, states emphasized its support and contribution to the construction and adaptation of a third, alternative, inclusive way of development emerging through and from education.
And with that, OEC incorporates development.
The OEC Secretary General emphasized that the presence of the organization in the Ethiopian capital will make it easier to achieve the ideal South-South cooperation in the education sector. He also underlined that education is the only means by which the member states' visions for the future can be realized, as it forges and unites diversity while fostering cooperation.
The OEC has entire programs to support through our Department of Technological Innovation and Digitalization Enhancement, to support our member states in developing the necessary frameworks, the necessary policies, and launch the necessary incubators and accelerators to develop endogenous technologies, where endogenous may mean local, national, or indeed regional. And in so doing, it is our hope to see our member states collectively become drivers rather than passengers of the fourth industrial revolution. For the technologies that we import, with the rapid and exponential development of technology, will be obsolete in 3, 4, come 5 years. And this collective effort from the South to develop our technology hubs becomes all the more necessary.
The inauguration of the OEC's offices will support the government's efforts to expand the education sector and Ethiopia's partnerships with international organizations. As a member of the OEC, Ethiopia reiterated its commitment to a balanced and inclusive education.
Quality education is vital for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Agenda. Promoting inclusive and quality education requires concerted and enhanced global partnership. Hence, the creation of OEC is timely. We hope the organization would contribute to the promotion of quality and relevant education, particularly in developing countries. The government of Ethiopia has been undertaking important educational reform to ensure inclusive, quality, and accessible education to all. We are working in close partnership with domestic and international partners, acknowledging that education and human capacity building are key to achieve our national vision of holistic prosperity.
The OEC was founded in 2020 and aims to engage systematically with the human, local, national, and planetary dimensions of education.